Welcome back to Arise and Shine. She went from firefighter, which I think is fascinating, to fashion model, and now Rain Dove is breaking gender barriers on the runway with her androgynous look. She's here to share her story with us. Welcome, Rain.
Yes, I'm in a rain sandwich.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's like an Oreo.
Right?
I love it.
So, okay, so you're considered androgynous. Okay. How is it that we describe androgyny or androgynous?
Well, I think that we came up with the term androgynous to describe people who we can't necessarily class as male or female right on the spot. So when you try to like class a gender, you usually look for telltale signs, right?
Right.
Are they tall? Are they like, how big are their muscles?
Right.
Are these things there? You know?
Right.
But if you can't really tell right off the bat, then
so you'll say someone is androgynous.
Right.
Okay. Something that was interesting, real quick, that you also mentioned is genderqueer. Is that it? Yeah. What is that? What is that term? Because it's different, you know, when you talk about the transgender community or that. So what does genderqueer mean?
Genderqueer is someone who can identify with multiple genders or don't necessarily identify with maybe socially created norms of what's expected of a gender, either sexually or like image-wise, or I mean, sometimes it comes down right to like maybe the favorite color, you know.
Right.
And I think it's important to note that most gender is a socially constructed thing. All people are just human beings with specific anatomical capacities that don't necessarily reflect their possibilities in life.
That's right.
I must say, you are very beautiful and handsome at the same time. You know?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so are you often mistaken as a man, you know, like out in public? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's great, you know, to be a white man in America. Let me tell you, it's awesome. Except when Ferguson happened.
Right.
I broke these out. I was like, I'm not with them. I'm not with them. I don't have that possibility.
Yeah, imagine if I tried to do that.
Oh, yeah,
that
wouldn't work.
Be like, no, that's a kind of a black girl something in America. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a lot of makeup, Photoshop, whatever you want to be. You know, it should be enough just to say that you are.
So again, you have this androgynous look, but do you date men or women? I know that's a strange question to ask. Let's go right to it. Let's just dive right in.
Right.
So you're single, right?
Oh, we might have a matchmaker right here.
I'm telling you. Look, it's like the Gemini thing. I could go out with both.
Oh, there you go.
See?
Well, I'm a Libra, so we get along quite well. I balance both their crazy sides.
Right.
Nice.
If I really was a Gemini, though. I'm Cancer, but I get along with Libra. Anyway, back
Cancer,
to men or women. Or do you have a preference, or it's what?
Well, for me, it's whatever turns me on. And I believe that should be for all people. You know, if it turns you on and it takes care of you, go for it. You know? It shouldn't be specified. Like I said, I don't believe that gender really truly exists. I do think that anatomy exists, but I don't think that gender is a specific thing.
Okay.
So, what made you go from a firefighter to a model? I think this is the first time I've ever. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard a firefighter go
to a model, right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really want to be a firefighter. I went to what I thought was going to be a conservation corps, and I was too broke to go back when I realized I didn't quite read the fine print. The fine print that said, you know, this is not what you do.
Right?
Oops. And I didn't really go from being a firefighter to being a model, like, you know, flat out. There was that transition period. I went to school to study genetic engineering and civil law.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I became a model because I lost a bet during a football game. And
wow.
Yeah, you know, go
So you thank them now, right?
Oh, man. I'm so lucky. I'm lucky they lost.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I wanted to go help people, you know, just like every white person, small children in Africa. You know, I'm paying clean water rights. I was a huge water rights activist. And then I lost that bet during a football game, went to a runway show. They thought I was a male, cast me as a male.
Wow.
And then my career took off, and I realized maybe I can affect more people doing this than I could with my degree. And on top of that, if people can afford what I'm wearing, they can most certainly afford to make a difference.
Right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So how did the modeling agencies respond to your look? And I guess when
sure they're loving it.
You know, when they're like, oh, we thought we hired a man, but she's a woman, but it's a man, but it's a woman. How do they respond to that?
Well, it's interesting, but on the West Coast, it was actually very difficult. Many of them are very commercial. Right. And to hire somebody who's ambiguous kind of affiliates you with the transgender community, and that's kind of making a political statement as a designer or as a clothing brand, which many people are not quite, unfortunately, ready to make, that they are aligned with people's choices to make a choice.
Right.
But on the East Coast, here in New York City, where things are a little more editorial and edgy, I had a great time. I went in, I would go into the men's castings. The first thing they have you do as a man is take your shirt off. I don't know what it is, but men are subjected to more sexual stuff than women are, just by far. And they're just like, take your shirt off, you know, we want to see those pecs, pour water over them, see if it goes in different directions.
What was their reaction, like, when you would do it? Like, I'm sure you, did you take your shirt off?
They were like, those are some generous pecs.
That's amazing.
But I ended up signing with Major, which is the agency I'm with in New York right now, because they let me model as both male and female.
Nice.
Which is fantastic.
Which is great. Many people don't think I'm feminine enough by social norms to be labeled as a woman. And Major was the one that said, we'll take a risk, and it was a risk that was worth it.
See, you have a look to me of Tilda Swinton. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Because to me, she has that look. She can go male, female to me, in my eyes, and she's beautiful. She's beautiful when she's a woman. She's handsome when she's, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's all of that. So you were on Oxygen series,
That's right.
Living Different, which explored the daily lives of 9 different women, and you just put it all out there about your lifestyles. How was that for you?
That was fun. I mean, it's reality TV. I actually bought a weave. I was ready to, like, rip it off and be like, look, Keisha, what the... But, you know, that didn't happen, so... But what money wasted, you know?
What I love, though, is that you kind of use that as a platform, and you're also a philanthropist. Like, you do great stuff in your life. You know what I mean?
Tell us about the charity work.
So I have a great fortune of having a lot of free time in between modeling. So I do a lot of different jobs. I keep myself busy, Libra.
Connection. I see a connection.
I'm telling you.
Once I pay my bills.
A balanced woman, man is a good man-woman.
I used to do a lot of hands-on volunteering.
Yes.
But now I go and I pick up odd jobs, and I work in, like, businesses that, you know, can't really afford to hire people for a lot of money. And then I take that money at the end of the day and I donate it to hire people to go work for volunteer organizations. So instead of me just being one person working on site, you know, if I put in a day of work, I can hire 2 people. So it's kind of it's been a really cool process.
That's fantastic.
Yes. Please tell us, why is it important for you to support the transgender community? You know, that's a big thing right now. Is, you know, I always talk about Laverne Cox and
what's going on with
Bruce. You know, so why do you think it's important?
Well, I think that the transgender community, you know, they're a community that really needs to be respected in the rights of their freedom to be just a human being. People think I model as male and female, but I don't. I model as all capacities of the human condition. I am one person. I am not either gender. I am everything, and all people are all things. And those things that we have, like, constructed in our society, those things tell us that it's wrong to be anything other than one or the other. And when somebody's transgender, they're saying, I want the right to my body to make a choice of how I want to be accepted in our society. And our country is based on the right of freedom of expression. It's based on the right to pursue that freedom. And we need to let go in order to be free, and people need to let go of them. And
thank you, Rain Dove, for coming. For coming, for enlightening us, and for doing the good work that you're doing. And I hope, like, you know, we see you again out there on the runway and in the world.